Hey, what's up, everybody? This is another episode of the Red Wolf Sports Videos podcast where we go ahead and we discuss the players, the sports teams in an unbiased fashion. Today, we're going to be doing another series and episode of My Thoughts, unbiased approach, where we just kind of discuss either players or teams or anything in general regarding sports. So without further ado, we'll dive right into this episode. Today we're going to be discussing Justin Jefferson. Now, Justin Jefferson is one of the top receivers coming out in the 2020 draft class that's loaded with talent. He's a junior out of Louisiana, played for LSU, and he's standing about 6'1", 202 pounds. That he was listed at the combine. Now, it was very extremely surprising to me because all throughout the year when I've watched Justin Jefferson play, I could have sworn and put my life on it that he was at least 6'3". So that should be telling you how he plays. He plays so much bigger than he is listed. And he actually ran faster than what I thought that he would run. I thought he would run anywhere from like a 4.5 to maybe a higher 4.5, maybe a low 4.6. You never know. But he ended up running a 4.43. So that really shut me up during the combine. And then he also jumped 37.5 inches and broad jumped 126. So he is really, really explosive. To say the least. I didn't know that he would be that fast, and I thought that he would be taller than what he is. So that should just be a compliment to his game. It really answered up a lot of questions that I may have had about him. So when I kind of just go ahead and look at his college career, he actually finished second to Jamar Chase, who was actually his teammate. With 18 touchdowns, and Jamar Chase actually ended up winning the Blitnikoff Award as the nation's top receiver. So if you look at some of his stats, he actually had 111 catches. So he was getting open, getting a lot of volume from Joe Burrow in Joe Brady's offense, and then had 1,500 yards, 13.9 averaging per catch, and then had 18 touchdowns. His longest of the season was 71 yards. So that should just tell you that this guy is very productive, extremely productive to say the least. Won a national championship. For all of you that watched the game, he dominated, especially against Oklahoma. So I feel extremely bad for Oklahoma defenders. He gave them the works and then tagged his homie Jamar Chase, who finished off Clemson, because he gave it to Clemson. So they both just, I guess, took turns. One gave it to Oklahoma, and then Jamar gave it to Clemson. So my pros for Justin Jefferson is he's a really, really smart receiver. When I watch the games, you could definitely tell he has a connection along with Jamar with Joe Burrow. I know when you watch Joe Burrow, there's times where he's like, oh man, Joe Burrow has to throw it away. Somehow, some way, Justin Jefferson sits down in his zone and gets open, or if Joe is scrambling around looking for something. Particular, the play that jumps off my mind is that play against Georgia, where Joe Burrow just made that defensive end and that defensive tackle just pretty much almost broke the ankles. He runs to the sideline. I'm thinking that he's going to throw it out of bounds, yet he throws it up, and out of nowhere, here comes Justin Jefferson to save the day. He catches the ball. So very, very smart receiver. He runs great routes, just like Jerry Jeudy, who's coming out in this class. I think Justin Jefferson should be in that same class when you're talking about route running. Now, I don't think he's probably not as polished, but when it comes to route running, Justin Jefferson can run a route and he can get open. I think he's probably the second best route runner, in my opinion, that's coming out in this draft. He always finds a way to get open, no matter if you're playing, press bail technique, if the defenders playing zone, if they're playing man to man, 22 man, cover 3, cover 5, doesn't really matter what coverage they're playing. This guy is smart, and he can find that little hole in every zone. Every zone has a little hole. And he can sit in that zone, or he could just beat his man straight up and just get open. So he has a great way of adjusting his body and making acrobatic catches. So that's one thing. I always watched him since the beginning of the season. When I really started watching LSU before they took off against Texas, he made that play where he pretty much almost did like a 360 type of catch where he had like that back shoulder fade for a touchdown. I think it was like a seam route or something like that. And then another thing is he can make all the catches. Now, if you watch football or cover football, you hear about all these quarterback prospects and they say, oh, he can make all the throws. Well, I call it making all the catches, where he can make just a routine deep ball catch, be confident in his abilities and have just that focus to be able to just reel that catch in like a layup. Also can make all the catches over the middle, make jump ball catches and go up and just moss a defender, make, the one-hand catches, spectacular catches, acrobatic catches. Justin Jefferson can do it all, man. So my only con would be for him, or I would say like question that I would have for him is, his production wasn't necessarily there in 2018. And I can go for the same as Joe Burrow because, they weren't that good. LSU wasn't as good as a team in 2018. Then they pretty much flipped the switch when they got Joe Brady from the Saints, and they pretty much just started running similar offense as the Saints. So he was able to get a high number of volume, but nevertheless, I think Justin Jefferson is that guy. Now, my player comp for him is when I watch him play, he reminds me of a younger Keenan Allen. When Keenan Allen was coming out of California, he still is one of the best route runners in the NFL. I think Keenan Allen can definitely, just like Justin Jefferson, is a smart receiver, knows how to get open, knows how to adjust their body. Keenan Allen can make every single catch. Now, the crazy thing is Keenan Allen, actually wasn't even all that, he didn't run that fast of a 40, as you all know. But yet, it does not matter. When it comes to receiver, I think the 40 sometimes can be a little bit overrated because the main thing is, can you catch the ball and can you get open? And Keenan Allen can do both of those. Justin Jefferson can do both of those. They can route you up because route runners is what really keeps you in the NFL. Barring any injury, route runners last longer than the deep threats and the guys that run these fast 40s. You always see these guys that run these 4.2s and 4.3s, and then 5, 6, 7 years later, you're like, whatever happened to that guy? But it's always that guy that can run anywhere from a 4.4 to a 4.6, and usually those are the guys that's in the NFL. Michael Irvin said it before, where you don't see too many guys in the Hall of Fame that has run a sub 4.3 in the Hall of Fame. You got guys like Jerry Rice who ran a 4.6, but he has that game speed and knows how to get open. So Keenan Allen is my player comp for Justin Jefferson. Now, Justin Jefferson, I actually believe, just like Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Henry Ruggs, I think Justin Jefferson is a first-round talent. I also believe that he's going to go in the first round. Just going to the combine, running that 4.43, I think that pretty much validated everything on tape, that all these GMs and all these teams were wondering how fast is Justin Jefferson, how really fast can he really wiggle and get going when he turn it on. Pretty much just shut everybody up. So I think he's going in the first round. Probably after, I would say, Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb, maybe even Ruggs, because Ruggs, you can't teach that speed, and Ruggs can really get open, and he also isn't just a deep threat. He don't drop the ball, and he knows how to run routes as well. So I would sprinkle him in there with those three. I don't really know who's gonna go first, second, third, or fourth, but I know he's gonna go in the top four, so somewhere. So it'll be interesting to see where he lands. But I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of Justin Jefferson, where you think he's gonna go, if you have a favorite team that you think he's gonna go to, or just what your thoughts are. I want to hear what you agree with, what you don't agree with, what you think your player comp may be for Justin Jefferson. So I appreciate you guys again for stopping in for another episode of the Red Wolf Sports Videos podcast, and this was the video on Justin Jefferson. I'm out, y'all.